Oh, I do want to do public comment. Huh? Is that like this regular public comment? Yes, definitely.
We have virtual and in-person comments. Okay.
Sure. Sorry. Thank you. You want me to hold the? Yeah, I could do that. Good afternoon, commissioners, and I just want to thank you. This is the first time ever that I've come to a city commission, well, fire kind of too, but where I felt heard, listened to. You guys make great eye contact. So many times they'll be talking and they don't do that. So I appreciate you and the fact that you actually took what we were saying seriously, and there's next steps. I just want to give you that thank you for that. But I want to continue with the same thing. The planners are still there. I did see that they removed a few of them, like on a far corner, forgot to mention that, but the vast majority of them are still there. And it's all still on both sides of Fountain and all up and down L. Ron Hubbard Way, and then all the roses that are on the easement of Catalina. And although, yes, you can get through the sidewalk, you can't do any ingress or egress from any kind of paratransit vehicle or even a car, because you can't open up the door to get in and out. We've seen their own people, their own parishioners struggling. Even they have several blind parishioners, and they're struggling because they use the cane, and they're having a hard time properly using the cane because it's so tight right in front of the doors of the buildings they need to go to. And they have several people on walkers as well, and it's just I don't understand why they're doing this. And I mean, I understand they don't want protest. They don't want anyone protesting or being able to encamp or do anything or to be there and eyes, but they are breaking the law to do this. There's legal ways to, if they want planters, because it's not really about planters. If they want planters, they can go get planters through the system, but it's got to be ADA compliant. They can't break the laws. And I also want to say that they are trying to get a street vacation, but I'm also going to be talking about it's a direct line to Kaiser Hospital. And as we know, plenty of people, like whether you are permanently disabled or disabled in the moment, need the quick access to a hospital. And so I will probably be talking about that issue in the future. But for now, thank you for at least hearing us, and I appreciate everything you're doing for us. Thank you.
We're ready for our next public comment. You may begin when ready.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. And as a description, I am an older woman. I am paraplegic. I'm a full-time wheelchair user. And probably use my jammies today, so I'm not going to describe that. But again, like Adelaide was talking about, I'm very thankful for the fact that you are taking our comments seriously. Again, I would like to let you know that I am a prior DIPTAC director, so I'm very familiar with the ADA and very familiar with the issues pertaining to the Title II, discrimination and violations. And so the planners, yes, down on L. Ron Hubbard Way and Fountain Avenue and the rose bushes along Catalina are definitely under Title II, discrimination and violations. So the reason why they have an error audit, talked a little bit about it, was to prevent First Amendment protesters and the First Amendment people from being there, from the encampments being there. And the main reason that they do that is so that way you don't see what's happening behind closed doors. And I know that the violation or abuse, all of that is none of your problem. However, one problem that they do is they don't believe in mental health. They don't believe in psychiatry. In fact, they abhorrently oppose psychiatry. And so no mental health, no psychiatry, no psychiatric drugs. And if you need that or want that, you are completely disconnected from the church, from the society, from the community, and you're kicked out. So that is one of the main problems, and they cause psychiatric and cognitive disorders and abuses. So their doctrine, policy, and practices cause problems that then you're not allowed to see a doctor about,
You have
or
30
see a
seconds, Colin.
psychiatrist about. Thank you.
Great job, Mona.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I spoke at the last meeting during public comment, and I really do feel like you heard us. You guys listened, and I want to say thank you. Those planners are ridiculous. There's like 200 of them. And my friend can't use the paratransit because there's so many of them. There's no spots to get dropped off in that area because of the like 200 planners. And I really appreciate that you're hearing us, that you're trying to do something about this. And that's all I gotta say. You'll get my time.
Great job, Gotcha. They heard us.
Thank you. Do we have any more public comment? Yes. Public commenter, you may speak at any time.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I gotta say, just shout out to this commission. This is the only commission I know in Los Angeles that will actually listen to the voice of the people. I'm here today because I just want to support the two violations that spoke of earlier. There are in fact major blockades of the public right of way. They're working panelists on set. And in fact, my heart breaks because I watched that poor woman on LA actually get stuck on that there sidewalk, and it's all because of Scientology. I mean, literally, because of Scientology, she was stuck on the end of the sidewalk, and it wasn't because, it was only because those activists told her to get out of that spot, that she would even be able to go back home. You don't understand, my heart broke out for her. She literally was stuck there and trapped. Because Scientology blocked the public right away. And in fact, there's even court case out there, already announced this, 24 CPCM 038371. And that is trying to remove those same blockades. And guess what they did? The corrupt city attorney prosecuted him over a bogus vandalism charge because they're trying to clear up the public right away. I ask this commission, will you please do your job? Please. There's people out there suffering because of the cold. They're blocking public outways.
Colin, you have 30 seconds.
And it's discrimination to people like I. It's an absolute shame. I know some of this country stands for, and I'm sure you'll do the right thing. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you.
Public speaker, you may talk when ready.
Yes, hi, this is George Casares. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, hi, George Casares here, ex-mayor of Clearwater, Florida, and I just want to come up to you more and explain. The fact of the matter is, you have Scientology in your backyard, and they are in fact a domestic terrorist group, and one of the ways in which they continuously violate the law is by blocking the public right of way over at the 4810 West Sunset Boulevard campus, also locally as a blue building. And as somebody mentioned before, there is in fact a frivolous criminal case because somebody tried standing up for our First Amendment rights and tried standing up for those that are disabled to clear out that blockade, an unlawful blockade. And at the end of the blockade, a woman was trapped there for hours. Why? Because Scientology hates the disabled people. Scientology hates human rights. Scientology traffics people, and the FBI raided them and showed as much. Scientology is a criminal racket, and part of the over 50,000 documents that were seized by Scientology, from Scientology by the FBI, included clear plans to overthrow the government, commit various sorts of tax fraud, and which living members today were actually conspirators of. Now I ask you, is that what this board wants to accept? These clear criminal behavior from Scientology on blocking the public right of way, as well as countless other real estate rackets. You have the authority to do something about this, and it's in your purview. This is the legacy that you and your kids will see.
Colin, you have 30 seconds.
Will you stand up to a terrorist group? Will you stand up to child traffickers? Will you stand up to a cult that violates children in the most disgusting sexual manners. Absolute depravity is what Scientology is. That's what Scientology is. Do the right thing. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Caller, you may begin speaking.
Yeah, but I just want to say this is, just want to support all the other people that have spoken so far in, against Scientology. It's just crazy. I mean, you guys gotta see some of the stuff that they do to these people. They're sending people to slash their tires. There's a child today, a child predator was harassing a child and his mother. And they're affiliated with Scientology, and that's what they do. They just harass people non-stop. They block the public right of way. They send criminals to harass people at their houses, and let's not forget, they do in fact traffic children. Part of their hobby is where they literally make children ask grown adults all sorts of disgusting sexual questions, and they videotape it. That's called CP, and that's what the FBI found. Lawrence Wolfenheim was one of those big pieces, but it's shown and proved in court that Scientology net does this at a grand scale. And that's what people like Tom Cruise support actively and publicly. Their very leader is literally right now being prosecuted. We're being prosecuted for human trafficking, child rights, and this is what Scientology is. And you have lobbyists like Bill Delbeck out there trying to paint those activists as criminals and thugs, when in fact Scientology is nothing but criminals and thugs. They traffic children, they molest children, and that's what Scientology is. This board has the authority and the responsibility to go and protect those most vulnerable, the disabled and children. You know now. There is no free culpability there now. You are responsible. Do the right thing. Thank you.
She runs the meeting.
There are no more public comments.
And I think we have 4 or 5 public comments waiting. But prior to that, thank you again for presenting. And as you can see, we are all very excited by what you're doing. I appreciate you for coming and being transparent about where you are and what you're doing. It's way more than what Rainbow has done. I'm putting it out there because I'm pretty irritated by that situation. So thank you, and we hope you come back and provide us with some updates, as we progress towards FIFA and the wonderful LA 28 games. But with that, I'll pass it over to Kayvon for public comments.
Thanks. I think I'm going to do the whole 2 minutes with this, and then 1 minute for the thing on this, because I have a lot to say on this. Thank you for the report. I'm very excited to hear what's happening, what's going to hopefully be in our near future with regards to metro and elevators. But it seems like a pipe dream to me as somebody who is on the metro practically every single day, and I'm struggling with. There's always a down elevator, and sometimes there's one like at Hollywood and Highland, which I needed to get off at. I had to stop going there because it was down for months. And then last night, as I was getting off in the station, you go through the things where the little gates open, and it opened and shut immediately. And I couldn't even get it and my chair was already trying to go through, so it hit my joystick console, crushed it, pushed it upwards, which pushed the button that, the joystick part that makes it move into the chair. So it kept my wheels revving and revving. It was terrifying. And they ended up having to call the fire department, but nobody could get the doors to open. And it actually harmed my chair to the point where I couldn't even get into, I come to City Hall all the time. I can always get through, but I couldn't because it's making my chair zigzag because the joystick is off. So it's like I'm hindered as a disabled person trying to get through the city because my chair was damaged by Metro. And the supervisor came, they're going to put in a claim, and I hope to God they fix it or something happens, my insurance, whatever. But the point is, it's hard to dream big and hope that all that's gonna happen when, you know, just my day-to-day trying to, and I'm still determined. I came here regardless, even though I could barely get on and off the bus because my chair is trying to zigzag. I'm so determined to speak to this commission because they are so on our side with the ADA community. You sense it. But we need, like right here, right now, help with the endless issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, public comment? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. As I said in my previous, I'm a person with a disability. I have to use a wheelchair. I helped the city I was living in at one time getting prepared for our VA games, which is very similar to the Paralympics. And I hope you don't mind, I've been to a couple of Paralympic games. I hope you don't mind me passing on a few lessons learned. One, the Olympics and the Paralympics, since they're so close together, a lot of Paralympians will be there, of course, to see the Olympics. And Paralympians are used to going into cities and places and having to be adaptable in their transportation modes. That's just wrong. But a lesson learned is making sure that the path of travel is accessible. Maybe using some of the Willis decision money to do that. That might be an asset to you. Making sure the path of travel, and then of course the enjoyability of being a person with a disability or being a chair user to be able to take off, go to the restaurants, enjoy life, not just going to the venues and being stuck in your hotel or at the venue. So that's part of it. So the path of travel is really important. The second piece to that is there are going to be a lot of people with disabilities coming to watch the Paralympic Games. What an exciting and profound time that's going to be.
Call it in 30 seconds.
You're going to have double the people. The third item is pre-communication, making sure that there's documentation or advertisements saying you're not going to be able to park at the venues. Make sure and have public transportation or be able to be dropped off. So utilizing taxis or hire services and making sure there's a lot of accessible restrooms. That's those are the lessons that I learned planning for the VA games.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaker, you can begin.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm frustrated that it takes the Olympics in order to do a lot of the stuff that you talked about. I get it though, because the Olympics bring money and it takes money to do these things. But why are the elevators always broken? How come my friend gets stranded all the time because of these elevators? How come when she's on low battery on her wheelchair, she has to go to a different station, sometimes uphill, so it takes more battery? And she's already low on battery, hoping that she can make it home. How come, the elevators are causing that to happen? Like, I wish there was more focus on the elevators with us. Like, it's nice that there's a hands-free thing. I do see why that's important to, start to see if that's gonna be a good thing, but focus on the elevators themselves. They're broken all the time, and there's not always someone that can fix them right away. Sometimes it takes hours. So, I don't know, fix the elevators. That's it.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. Thank you.
Caller, you may begin.
Hello, thank you. I know you guys want to leave, so I'll be really quick. The director or the president of the commission here, could you please put a signal into the public works here that just like the planters that were over on Sunset, that they could just go and remove them and then use that as a credit to the Willis decision, because I know you have a lot of money you need to spend for that, and that would be a couple of $1,000s off from that credit. So thank you for the time and thank you for that update. We really appreciate it. I yield back my time.
Thank you.
I am very grateful for that update and I appreciate it very much. But I just want to remind you that it is, an ADA compliance issue, but also the intent behind these planners is to prevent the free speech of, people who may have problems with what's going on there. And so it's a deliberate attempt to prevent First Amendment free speech of protest, redress of the public, and especially from the survivors that have left there and who want to be heard. So it really behooves the city to really resolve this because there's two classes of people who are being affected. And people, this has really gained attention from around the world. People around the world are literally, coming to this meeting, which is, it sounds crazy, but it's true. They're very interested, and I'm going to say you guys are everyone's favorite because you listen. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.